Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Chris.
Here we are, beautiful day, February 28th.
Yes.
Is it the last day of February?
It is the last day of February.
It's not a leap
year.
Yep. So, beautiful day here. Well, it's supposed to be a beautiful day. Eventually, I'm assuming it's supposed to be sunny and like 60, 59, 60.
Speaking of leap years, I was doing a little genealogy research this past week, and I was born on a leap year.
Okay.
My daughter was born on a leap year.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah was born on a leap year. Jackie, my daughter's mom, was born on a leap year, and my mother was born on a leap year.
Wow. That's is that coincidence?
I don't know.
Lincoln had
maybe I'm drawn to people born on a leap year. I didn't look you up to see if you were born on a leap year.
I was not. I was born in 73.
Gotcha.
So a leap year would have to be divisible by 4, right? 4, 8, 12.
Yep,
16,
sure enough.
Yep. So no, I was born in 1973.
Gotcha.
So that's like that whole Lincoln Kennedy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you read it before.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second, then it's starting to get creepy. So how are you doing today, Eric?
Fantastic. I went to an estate sale this morning.
And what?
An estate sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before our show. Said almost never do that, but I got Sarah. Here I am drinking my coffee. We have found that we prefer percolated coffee. It's stronger. It just reminds me. It's what I grew up with at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Christmas, I had gotten her an old glass Pyrex percolator.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's out of glass, and but it's only 4 cup. But I found it on eBay, and they're not cheap. I think I paid $85 for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I saw online, because sometimes I just look on estate sales coming up. I look at the pictures, see if there's anything that I might want.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that I saw it in the background. I didn't even know the size of it, the cost of it, or anything, but I saw they had one. And I thought, worst case, I could get it for parts in case, because these things are fragile. First, parts could break, and then I would be out of luck. So I went there this morning before the show, and I picked up the 9 cup, which is what I was looking for. That retail on eBay for like $120, and I got it for $40.
There you go.
So that was exciting find today.
One man's junk is another man's treasure. That's cool.
We're already off on the incoherent stuff. That was not planned.
No, that's there's nothing wrong with that, man. A guy I went to high school with, he found I was in band. Mm-hmm. He was in band. He came up. We were going to play a gig together, and he shows up with this looks to be brand new baritone. I could tell it wasn't just by the case and everything, but perfect condition. And he just happened to be. He wasn't going yard selling. He just happened to be driving through a neighborhood, and he saw something shiny, and he saw a case, and he went back, and he said, "How much for this baritone?" And the lady was like, $10. He's like, I can't do that. He's like, I have to.
She said 5.
He said, I have to give you at least 50, or he's like, I can't give you $10. So he actually paid her $50 for it.
Right.
Knew it would have been $2,500 or something right there. And he told her that, and she's like, it was her son's. He had literally played it once, said it wasn't for him, and had just been in the attic for 30 years or whatever it was.
Right.
So, I mean, that's not the norm, but those things happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you got and it's in good condition, I assume?
Yeah. Everything's complete too. Mm-hmm. What I didn't mention when I ordered that one for Sarah for Christmas off of eBay, it was missing a part that I didn't realize when I ordered it. So I paid $80 for something that was useless when I got it. And then I had to order another part and pay like another $30 for it.
Right.
So I ended up overpaying for the first one that we got.
Gotcha. My grandfather grandmother too, but they used, after my grandfather passed, eventually my grandmother got like the kind with the glass carafe that you just put in there and it was like, but before my grandfather passed, they used, I don't know, tin, or I don't know what metal it was, but it was, like this tall, and they just put it on the stovetop. but it was just water and grounds just slung on there together, and percolated and whatnot. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I am not a coffee drinker, but I know most people that have a certain brand or a certain flavor profile they're going for, but then some get more into how it's brewed.
Right.
And I know that can certainly change the taste profile. And
absolutely. Because like when if you're doing drip coffee, like a Keurig or something, which is what I do at work, that water's filtering through those grounds one time. Mm-hmm. Or when it's percolating, you're percolating over and over. So it just makes the coffee stronger.
Right.
Not everybody prefers that.
Right. Yeah. Lauren does not like strong coffee.
Right.
As you can tell. That's a breakfast blend.
Right. So there's no bad coffee in my mind.
No. But I drink coffee like once a year.
Oh, wow.
Once a year, something like that. Every once in a while, I'll get the hankering at a restaurant for cappuccino, and I'll get like a decaf cappuccino.
Right.
Or if it's like really cold, sometimes it feels good if I got kind of a chill or whatever. But it gives me the most unpleasant heartburn. And so I figured out years ago, I'm not a huge fan of how it tastes anyhow. But if I was, I don't know if it's worth the heart, because it's almost, at times it's like I just have to go lay down and go to bed. It's really bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be, I'd drink a pot a day, but now the caffeine, I have to stop drinking after 3 because of caffeine. I have sleep issues. It keeps me up. But my sister and my wife both love Starbucks. I'm not a huge Starbucks fan, not just because of the price, but the coffee I feel like tastes burnt to me. So
that's what Lauren says, it tastes burnt and it's gross.
Yeah. But they both love it. And I met my wife. I'm a realtor, and I was showing her property, and we would always meet at a Starbucks, and I'd pick her up there and go. And oftentimes my daughter would come with us. Mm-hmm. And my wife, Sarah, would get iced coffee. Mm-hmm. And she'd get I think my wife likes half and half more than coffee because she has as much half and half to it as she does coffee. And she got my daughter hooked on it then too. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, some people like burnt steak. Mm-hmm. Like my wife likes it well. No, she doesn't. She likes it medium, but that's well done to me.
Right.
But some people just like that taste of burnt coffee bean.
Yep.
I'm not a coffee drinker, so I can't comment on it. I've had Starbucks coffee once, and I thought it was taste even worse than most coffee that I had. Mm-hmm. So I can see, and it tasted burnt to me, but it was. I didn't even drink the whole thing.
My daughter. I think the way they make it, they being my wife, when my daughter first met and went to, they put sweetener in it. They put half and half in it. It's not just like black coffee. I drink mine black.
Yeah. So
that probably was part of the attraction for Megan to like it. Mm-hmm. But my daughter suffers from migraines occasionally, mm-hmm. and caffeine helps keep those at bay. So I wonder if part of the reason why she started craving coffee and has an addiction to it like I do now isn't because the body craves it, because it helps keep those
caffeine
at bay.
Can also cause migraines.
Gotcha.
But when you have a headache, because opens the blood vessels, it can actually help it.
She goes to a doctor for the migraines, and they said the caffeine's mm-hmm. good.
Oh yeah,
for that,
for sure.
So.
Well, yeah, thankfully they stopped somewhere between 20 and 21 years of age, but I used to have really bad debilitating headaches, and the only thing that I could do at that point in time that I knew to get rid of it was go into a really dark room and just chug a Mountain Dew or something.
Oh wow.
With goodies. And then maybe 20 minutes later it was subsiding.
Right.
But thankfully, whatever was going on then kind of.
When we worked together back at the computer place, I remember you took goodies then.
Yeah. Well, and it's it's acetaminophen, aspirin, and caffeine. That's what it is. And there's 3 powders. It depends on what area of the country you're from. There's goodies, there's stand back, and I can't remember, the other one starts with a G, and I can't remember what it is. But for me, it was always goodies because that's the first one I ever had.
Right.
So that was our cold open. Welcome. I will start off with saying subscribe, follow, engage. And I know it sounds silly. A lot of the people I see online, they're always saying that. But like it does, the more people that are following the show, subscribe to it,
Right.
And whether or not they're actually watching the videos, but just that subscription presents it to more people, and gives us more opportunities just to be presented to people randomly,
right,
within Spotify, YouTube, all the different platforms. So doing that helps us grow our platform, and we're really trying to bring about a platform where it's the positive not only outweighs the negative, but significantly outweighs the negative.
Right.
The only time we really would bring up negative things if we thought there was an opportunity to discuss and learn from it, or how maybe things could have come out differently if things were approached differently.
Right.
So that's, yeah. So I mean, really, listener engagement is important. A couple of weeks ago, we had a listener submit a story.
Last week we had a listener.
Yeah, last week we did. And then when we were talking about the financial stuff last week, I had a listener reach out saying that they would be interested in a more in-depth dive on that topic, whether it's mortgage, credit card debt, and
financial wellness
in general. We are not financial advisors. We are not, Dave Ramsey, nothing like that.
I do admire him,
but we do.
I have read his books, and
and we both being able to use certain tactics to get in a much better place than where we were previously, and we know that it works. It's not always easy, because our personal desire sometimes makes that difficult, but it actually is easy to do if you just do it.
Right.
So we will come up with something on that in the relatively near future.
Amen.
Because if a listener brings it to us, it's going to get attention.
Yep.
So we appreciate all
PR
of that.
format's ever evolving.
Yes.
So.
Well, we're going to let's go to celebrity birthdays.
All right.
And I've quit watching the NBA. Probably have not watched a game in a decade, maybe longer. I used to be an avid fan in the 80s and the 90s. Huge Larry Bird fan, and of course Michael Jordan fan. But it lost a lot of its luster. But I do know this name, Luka. Don't know how to pronounce his last name, but apparently he's quite the impressive player. I've seen some highlights. He is 27 today.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Another name I've heard of, Jason Aldean. I don't know his music. I can tell by looking at him I wouldn't like it. No offense, Mr. Aldean. But that is a name I've heard a lot of. He is 49 today. And then I don't. People may not know Robert Sean Leonard by name, but he was in Dead Poet Society. But he was also Dr. Wilson on House.
You can't see the picture. Yeah, exactly. When I saw him, I absolutely knew who he was, but by the name, I wouldn't have guessed who that was.
And he took on his brother's first name because there was already someone in Hollywood with his name. So I think that's Robert is his brother's name.
Gotcha.
His name is Sean Leonard.
Gotcha.
So interesting little tidbit there.
Bugsy Siegel was born on this day.
Bugsy Siegel, yeah.
Famous American gangster.
Yeah. Founded Las Vegas, right?
Yeah. Helped build the Vegas Strip.
Yeah. It was
wouldn't probably exist without him.
Literal desert, right?
Yep.
Like literally nothing. And he built it up.
Mario Andretti was born.
Mario Andretti, great race car driver.
Yeah.
Formula One, correct?
Yep. He's 82. I had no idea that he was 82.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
John Turturro. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yep.
I listened to some stories that he was on. You ever heard of Moth? Back when NPR was kind of fun to listen to.
I have never listened to
I used to get so much information off NPR, but now it's just so political I can't listen to it. But there was a show on there called The Moth where they would just get up on stage and do stories.
Okay.
And he did one. I don't remember the story, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Cool. Yeah, I know his face. I've seen him in something recently. And then this is a controversial person, but the late great Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, really?
Yeah, birthday today. He passed in 22. And if that offends anyone, me saying great, I'm sorry. I found him to be beyond hilarious. He was also beyond inappropriate.
He had his moments, but I was never a huge fan.
Oh, well, I was a fan just because he was so annoying. Right. And then also he and Norm, he was on Norm's podcast, TV show, whatever it was called, on a regular basis. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of those, but to see them bounce off each other, it was quite entertaining. He was just very inappropriate. I mean, like, he went to places that I don't think belong in comedy. That's just my thing. But when he wasn't going there, he did make me laugh. Let's see, who else do we have here?
Bubba Smith.
Bubba Smith? Who's that?
Is he on yours?
No.
No, he was considered one of the best defensive end players in NFL of all time.
Right. Yeah, DE. Yeah. That's right, Bubba Smith. Yeah. Bubba.
Played for the Colts and the Raiders.
That's right.
The Oilers.
Mm-hmm. That's all the birthdays I have.
Do I have any others?
Oh, Elizabeth Taylor.
She didn't come up on my list. That's crazy that I didn't even catch her.
Yeah.
Show me on that list. I want to doubt you.
Well, it was.
How could that be that I missed that?
She wasn't on here this time. She was on here last time. And then last time, Jason Aldean was not there.
Are you on the right date? Because none of those guys.
February 28th.
Yeah, about that.
I'm
gonna do a quick fact check because I can't believe she didn't come up on my list. But hey, that's why we both do our research.
Maybe
the hours of research go into this show.
Yeah. Are you finding it?
I'm looking right now.
What's her birthday?
She was born on February 27th.
Oh, well, sometimes when it pulls up, for whatever reason, it shows the day before. So, okay. I missed it by one day.
Had to fact check it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I did make sure this dropped down to February 28th for this day in history, which you've got some, nothing overwhelming, but some interesting tidbits on that. Today, 1953, the chemical structure of DNA was discovered. That and pretty important development,
indeed,
across many different arenas.
Yep.
Let's see.
I don't know if I had any. I did come up on. Let's see. That was Francis Crick and James Watson discovered it.
Yep.
They discovered the double helix polymer using X-ray diffraction studies.
Okay.
So
we also have
X-ray refraction studies seem to come often in our.
Yes. Well, what a lot of people may not realize is it's probably 30% of the conversation we have.
They might be getting sick of hearing us talk about it.
Sometimes we're just too smart for our own good, as my mother would say. John Wesley charters the First Methodist Church in 1784.
Yep. I did a little research on him because I found it interesting. He came to Georgia. Did you know that?
Yeah. It did not go over so well the first time.
No, it did not. Actually, he was, I think, charged with a crime and fleeing the country. But on his way over here, he was on a boat with a bunch of Moravians, and there was a huge storm. The ship lost its mast, and a lot of people were panicking or reacting to the situation. The Mormons were just singing and praying. Moravians were singing and praying, and he was very impressed by their devout nature.
1861, Congress creates the Colorado Territory, which went on obviously to become a state.
Interesting. I missed that. Was not on my list.
Yeah.
Did you have on your list that in 202 BC the Han Dynasty began?
I did not. That was not on my timeline.
That's China's record imperial dynasty.
Wow.
It's kind of known as the Golden Age. They founded the Silk Trading Road.
Yeah, the Silk Road.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what's the invention of paper?
Paper.
They invented the seismograph.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 202 BC.
In 202 BC.
That's impressive.
And I saw it is quite impressive. It was based with water and all that kind of stuff. It had like a dragon head and it shot out balls that, I mean, it was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Even to today. Water clocks and sundials were all
mm-hmm.
invented then by them.
A lot of advancement for 2,000 years ago. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Final episode of MASH airs 1983.
That was the first thing on my list.
I'll let you cover that. I will, full disclosure, I was not an avid fan, but in 83 I was 10.
Right.
And I was kind of limited in the first of all, we didn't have any kind of cable. Like literally we got, I think 3 on VHF and 2 or 3 on UHF. That was it.
We didn't have cable until we moved here, and we moved here in '84. And I just happened to plug a TV into the wall. In the previous, we rented a house before we bought a house when we moved here. They still had cable connected, and it worked. And it worked for, my parents thought I was stealing something. They felt like they were going to get in trouble. It's on them for not turning it off.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so I never had cable when this. So MASH ran, I grew up on MASH. I mean, it ran for 11 seasons, started in 72, ran through 83. I was born in 68, so I was 4 when it started. So I, during my development years, it was always on. I wouldn't say the last episode was my favorite, but it was.
It wasn't like, it was long, like
2.5 hours.
2.5
hours. And what's crazy about it is it had the highest percentage of U.S. households watching it ever to this day. 60% of people with TVs watched that episode.
Right.
1 point, I'm going to say it was, I probably got it written down here. Over 105 million viewers tuned in. And this, I had written down 62%. According to Wikipedia, 77% of the viewing audience watched. 3/4 of people with TVs watched that.
And I would say, what's pretty impressive about that, I'm not saying it would never happen again. However,
it'll never happen.
One thing that made it easier for that to happen is there were a lot less options.
Right.
I can't imagine that would ever happen now because there are literally thousands of options that can be watched at the same time.
Exactly. And people stream it now versus watching it live.
Right.
Back then, if you wanted to watch it, you had to watch it.
You had to watch it.
It predated VCR.
Right.
So it's different now than it ever was then. There have been people that, like Super Bowls that have had people watch as many people watch. So like
not percentage wise.
Not percentage wise.
Right. Yeah.
But like in 2025, 127 million people watched the Super Bowl.
Right.
Versus 105 watching. But nowhere near the percentage of the viewership.
That's skewed though. Right. Yeah, because there was over 300.
And those are sports events. This was a scripted TV show.
Right.
I don't think will ever be touched again.
I can't imagine. And it's not apples to apples, but and we can admit the reason why it's not apples to apples plays into why it couldn't happen again.
Right.
But also, I don't know if
technology will prevent it from happening again.
But if we hadn't had the changes, I still don't know if it would ever happen again.
Right.
Even if the 62%. Like if we don't go to the 3/4, 60. I mean that's unheard of.
Because now you always have the opportunity to go back and watch it.
Right.
Where then reruns were a thing, but you'd have to wait for
years and years
to be able to see it. And if you wanted to be able to talk to somebody about whatever, it was the fear of missing out that kept people people watch.
So it's just like, of course, later, but like when you had the Seinfeld and Friends back to back, the next day, the water cooler talk, that was 75% of it.
Right.
And I didn't watch either show like regular. And so I felt like I was, I would just kind of like listen in on the conversations.
Right. I mean, MASH ran for 11 years. The Korean War only lasted for 3.
Right. Right.
But yeah. And I can't say it's my favorite TV show or anything like that at all, but I did grow up on it. there was a guy on that show called Radar O'Reilly, who's based off a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Who I remember when he died. He died. They wrote him. I think he was on it for 8 seasons, and he had a family tragedy. I think his uncle died, and he wanted to go home and take care of the farm or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they wrote him off the show, and he died in a helicopter crash. And my gosh, that one did affect me. Mm-hmm. I hated to see that happen to him.
I'm exposing my ignorance here. Was Alan Alda on that show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I've always liked him as an actor. I cannot remember the name of the movie, but it was one of those Washington D.C. the president and whatever, and he has a line from that movie that has stuck with me, and I can't quote it verbatim like I used to. Basically, like he wasn't a fan of the president, but yet he was backing something, and the person asked him why, and he said, because I respect the institution of the presidency of the institution of the presidency of the United States of America. And that line has stuck with me. And I can't remember the movie, but I did enjoy the movie, and I've always liked him as an actor.
Right. In fact, Alan Alda directed this final episode.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Based on your quote there, we don't talk politics on this because we just don't want to be dividing. But the president, I don't know how you can not like the person. But if you're rooting against that person, to me, you're rooting against the country.
Right.
You want the country to be successful, so you
absolutely
want you want the president to be successful. So,
but there are people that don't want the country to be successful, unfortunately. Yeah. So,
or they think that what he's doing doesn't align with making the country successful. I don't know, but anyway. Not to get off on politics.
Well, no, it's not. We don't have to go into politics. You and I, we know this. We met in '93, and both of us have always supported every sitting president. Mm-hmm. Whether we voted for them or not, whether we like them or not, it's the way we were reared,
right?
To love our country and to respect that office. On this day in 1993. The ATF raised the Branch Davidian compound.
Oh yeah, that's another big one.
That was big. I remember being glued to the TV because I had heard that something was, like an hour before the news they were talking about it, and so I remember being glued to the TV both for the local and the national news on that because that was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a huge deal, and it went on for like 2 months almost. Yeah, not quite, but 2 months. 51 days.
51 days. Oh, okay. I knew it was a long time. Yeah. David Koresh, right?
Yep.
Crazy. I don't know. What was he crazy?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be, I think.
Well, I don't know. I think he's just like a psychopath.
Well, isn't that crazy?
I mean, like, I don't mean that term offensively. Right. Maybe. He had mental issues, but I think he knew what he was doing is what I'm getting at.
Right.
When I think crazy, I think someone that doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
Right. And we don't try to be politically correct here. We use the terms we grew up with.
We aren't psychiatrists or psychologists.
We are not. But
he wasn't right in the head.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I do think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the people under his control did not.
And well connected.
Well connected.
I think they had planned the raid, and I don't know if he had a family member that worked for like was a postal service guy or something who had gotten
caught wind of it
and was able to let them know that it was coming, and then they just basically had a standoff.
Right.
And when they went in eventually after I think it was 51 days, they used tear gas, went in, and a lot of people died.
Yeah, it was a scary time, I'm sure, for the people that were in there because they had been brainwashed to believe this guy was, a great leader, and then all of a sudden they're under attack by their own country. I have to think they were pretty scared.
Yeah. I mean, fire broke out. I think, actually, I probably have it written down. 76 Branch Davidians died. 20 to 28 of them were children. So, horrendous ending.
Yes. And in 2013, Pope Benedict resigned.
Mm-hmm. He was
the
first
unexpected.
He was the first pope to do it since Pope Gregory the 12th in 1415.
Wow.
So
It was a long time.
Yep. Let's see.
What else do you have this day in history? That's all I had.
In 1967, Wilt Chamberlain sinks the NBA record 35th consecutive field goal, and that record stands today. So I think Daniel Gafford was chasing the streak back in 20. I didn't write that down. I want to say in 2024, he came within 3. So, and then in 1981, Calvin Murphy with Houston sets the NBA record for the 78th consecutive free throws.
That's impressive.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, in my book, Rick Barry is the GOAT when it comes to free throws, but to have 78 straight. So even if he missed the next 22, that's 78%.
We could look up and see who has the highest percentage. But
Rick Barry is 1, 2, or 3, depending on how you look at it. Because, there's ABA and NBA and then NBA.
Right.
He was 90-some%, which is phenomenal.
I think you covered most everything that I had. I have, let's see. The first fire insurance company was organized in 1810.
Oh, yeah.
Which is it was Hartford. So, becoming the major player in the American insurance industry. Note, though, Philadelphia Contributionship, established in 1752, is the oldest fire insurance company in America. It wasn't a major one, but it was established by Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it wasn't a major one, but it was. See, it was kind of misleading saying the first insurance company.
Right.
Maybe it's the first major.
Major, yeah.
But apparently not the first. Because the other one was short-lived. So maybe there's some fires that bankrupted them early. I don't know. That's it. So
That's it.
Other than that, you had everything I had. Oh, wait, I do.
Wait.
Nylon was invented in 1935. Could have saved the best for last.
Man. we almost missed that one. Nylon just in general, or nylon for the fabric industry, or fishing?
As much as I have written down is 1935 nylon is invented. I don't know by who. I don't know if that was in the patent was approved.
Charles George Nylon was his name. No, seriously, I made that up. Yeah. Nylon. Well, I mean, that is pretty significant invention if you think about it. It's widely used across many different industries. Yeah. Absolutely. So
today is the National Floral Design Day. That's kind of important to note. No, I have a good friend, business partner that worked together for 26 years. She was in New York just this past week, and she went to some sort of flower arrangement class, got a certificate to go for it to prove it. And she was told by that flower arranger, designer, whatever, instructor, world renowned, that florists are often used by the criminal elements as for money laundering. So, which was backed up by my research.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, it's also National Rare Disease Day.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that before the show.
Yep. For it to be a rare disease in the United States, the standard is 1 in 200,000 people have to have it or less. And I looked up some of the rare diseases. There's aquagenic urticaria. Basically, you're allergic to water.
Allergic to
water. It's a water allergy.
What if a person that has that also has rabies?
Would they foam at the mouth?
No, but you know what? Rabies makes you afraid of water. Like an irrational. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It makes an irrational.
I thought you
fear.
needed water to make foam. And I thought that's where you're going with it.
No. I'm saying like it gives you an irrational fear. Like you.
How do you know that? I've never heard that in my life.
No, you didn't know that?
No.
I've done research on rabies. Yeah. I had a dog that bit me, and the dog, by the Guilford County Sheriff, made the dog be confined for 2 weeks or whatever the rules were,
right,
to make sure and do testing and whatnot. Yeah.
Interesting. No, basically it's where skin becomes red and itchy upon contact with water,
Wow.
including sweat, rain, tears, stuff like that. So,
Man, that would be miserable.
it would be. Progeria, which is Hutchinson-Gilford syndrome, is a genetic condition causing rapid premature aging in children.
Mm-hmm.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then this one sounds the most unfortunate. Stone Man syndrome, a disorder where muscles and tissue and connective tissues are gradually replaced by bone, restricting movement.
That sounds. I mean, so a joint could physically like seize, not even be able to move it.
Right.
Wow, that would. So it's not as rare, but Lauren has a cousin that suffers from Lyme disease, and that's something that's picking up a little traction because it's
Justin
always
Timberlake has it, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's always been kind of like, we know it's there, but not really getting them.
There's no cure for it, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. No, but
I think unless you catch it like the first few weeks of
right. Now she is a lot better than she used to be. Through a lot of treatments, I can't remember the doctor's name, but he's renowned, and he's in DC, and she's making many trips to DC for the treatments. And then she goes back like once a year just for a checkup, and she's in a much better place than she used to be, just through diet and certain different supplements and the medical procedures and things that he's done with her. But yeah, I mean, the rare disease, that's one of those things where you really don't know about it unless there's somebody that you know is impacted by it.
And because it's so rare, I think a lot of times people, it goes undiagnosed because it's so rare. Right. And so they suffer for it for
a long time
before if they are ever properly diagnosed.
Right.
Yeah. It's also National Chocolate Souffle Day. We'll bring the mood up a little bit.
I like all things chocolate. You know that, Eric. Mm-hmm. I'm a chocolate fiend.
My wife Sarah, her favorite is chocolate mousse.
I like chocolate mousse. Mm-hmm. The texture,
souffle-like.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. There was a restaurant that has a chocolate mousse where it's like a parfait-ish kind of approach where it's like, I can't remember.
Because Sarah would want me to take it.
It's got like dark chocolate mousse, then white chocolate mousse, and then milk chocolate mousse, like 3 stacked together. And it's, for me, and as much as I like chocolate, for me, it goes beyond the flavor, and it's the texture, that smooth, creamy, velvet kind of flavor. Oh.
Sarah loves dark. She doesn't think white chocolate's a thing.
It's not.
And then milk chocolate's too sweet for her. She is a dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I had to choose, like if you set the 3 choices before me and just be, hey, which one do you want? 9 times or more out of 10, I'm going to pick the dark chocolate. If I had to choose what I had the rest of my life, probably would be milk chocolate.
Yeah, I like milk over dark personally.
Yeah.
But I'm not the connoisseur you two are.
I like
sweet.
Right. Well, I like dark chocolate. It doesn't have to be super sweet. I've had chocolate where there was no sweetness in it at all. And in fact, I have some in there I can show you. It's like 90% or whatever. And you just take a very, very small piece, put it on your tongue, and you just let it dissolve. So it's about savoring rather than just, eating. And it has you can taste the different notes coming out.
Y'all have a more refined palate than I do. Right. I find it bitter.
It is. Yeah, it is bitter. But just like coffee. I mean, coffee's bitter, right?
No. Well, I guess maybe. And especially the way I like it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not sweet. It's not savory. That's what I'm saying. It's a bitter flavor.
That's
bitter
true.
Doesn't mean bad. Like
no.
Brussels sprouts are bitter, and I love Brussels sprouts.
I'm sorry for that. You and Sarah both like it. I try to like it.
Have you had the ones at Printworks?
Yes, I have, and I've had yours, and both of those are the most palatable. And honestly, it's not bad. Melt also has some that are good.
Cynthia goes on and on about the ones that melt. Yeah. For me, the premium is the one at Printworks. I can eat those every day.
Speaking of restaurants, Sarah and I last night went to some place we've never been. I think we've had it out, but never eaten there. Zium Kitchen. Have you eaten there?
Not only have I not eaten there, I've never heard of it.
It's on West Market Street. It's been there maybe 2 years, maybe 3. I don't know. but it's a Turkish restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
so it's different. I like different. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so sick of eating the same things over and over. And last night I had something called a bugu kebab, and when you think kebab, you think it's skewered.
Mm-hmm.
It was not.
Okay.
It was diced lamb, so like
Mm-hmm.
hand diced small pieces, cooked with onions and tomatoes inside a clay pot covered with bread, kind of like you would think like a shepherd's pie.
Okay.
And then you cut around the edges and you peel the bread back, and then you cut off little pieces of bread and eat it. It was so good. I mean, it was different and good. It was just, I really enjoyed it. And they've got a Turkish gentleman, a chef in the back who's like a soup Nazi. I mean, he's in charge of that kitchen. You can hear him. So he's passionate about it. But I really, really enjoyed it. Sarah did too.
Was it a delight?
It was delightful.
Turkish delight.
Oh, Turkish delight. I was going to say it was delightful. I didn't know where you were going with that.
I didn't either.
I also had, I know you don't drink, but they had like a drink called, I think it was called Raku.
Mm-hmm.
It's an alcohol. It's like 50% alcohol by volume. It's known as lion's milk. And so you have it's a clear alcohol.
Okay.
And you drink it like in a shot glass. I think like 1.5 ounces of it. And then they have ice in the glass, and they pour the clear alcohol into the glass, and the ice turns the alcohol white. So it makes it, they call it lion. That's where it gets the lion's milk. Yeah, like a chemical reaction. Okay. I enjoyed it because it was different. You sip on it, so it wasn't overpowering, but it has like a star of anise in it or something. So it has a hint of like black licorice taste, which I don't like. So I had to chase it with whatever Sarah was drinking. So I didn't love it, but I liked that it was
something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just made a comment a couple days ago to Lauren that whoever invented licorice should have been put in prison.
Sarah liked it better than I did, I think. But
I don't like star anise. I don't like. There's three of those spices that have a licorice type flavor, and
if you put star anise in like a wine for like a mulled wine, I like it. That's the only thing I like it in. So
I can't.
And this wasn't overpowering like licorice. You just had that little bit of a licorice aftertaste or whatever. But I liked that it was different. I liked that it was cool that it
Don't
changed.
give licorice to young men. Just research it and you'll understand why. It's terrible for their endocrine system.
Huh. I like red licorice. I just don't like black licorice.
No, licorice is bad.
So you don't like Twisters?
No,
Twizzlers. I mean, Twizzlers.
Disgusting.
I like Twizzlers. I like red. I just don't like black.
It's like candle wax with a hint of licorice taste and like cherry. Ugh.
Well, I don't like cherry anything. I mean, I like cherries, but I don't like. And I can stomach chocolate covered cherries, but like cherry Coke, it just tastes like medicine to me. Like you're drinking medicine.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
Sarah likes it. I don't. I think she gets it because she knows I won't drink it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you want to make it worse, make it black cherry.
Right.
So.
Well, we got. How about some good news? Do we have some good news?
It was a light good news days.
It really was.
It's so. What's sad is it's so hard to find good news stories. I did scour the internet and found a couple.
I scoured, but I was not super drawn to anything I read. I really wasn't.
Right.
So you have some, and then we were talking before the show because we do plan. It may sound like we don't.
Right.
We do come prepared, but we were talking before the show, and you have a story about a heroic people intervening.
Yeah.
On a child abduction, and then I had something that reminded me of that we thought might be a good ERO kind of segment. Yeah. So we could blend those two together.
Sure. The one I found was about a Good Samaritan who helped find and ultimately rescue a missing toddler in Arizona. So I think they were a moving company because they had a couple different moving vans. And they were at a Quick Trip convenience store in Phoenix, and they noticed there was an Amber Alert out.
Okay.
And I guess they had seen it on TV or whatever, maybe on the billboards there. And there was a 2-year-old that was missing, and they thought that looked just like her.
Mm-hmm.
So they saw the girl and the abductors walk inside, and they looked up while they were outside. They looked up the Amber Alert and said, "That looks like this girl."
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, a security guard was walking by, and they said, "Did you see that girl? She looks like the girl that was abducted on this Amber Alert." So I don't know if these movers or if the security guard, somebody took a picture of her, called the police, and so while the police were being dispatched to the location, they saw that they were getting ready to leave, so they parked their truck in a way that would keep them from being able to back out.
Okay.
And then the police came, they backed out of the way, police got involved, and they ended up rescuing this 2-year-old girl.
That's good. That is a good news story.
That is a good news story.
Yeah.
And that reminded you of?
Yeah, I can't remember the young man's name, and I wouldn't use it if I could because I don't have his permission, even though it was on TV. I can't remember, several years ago, it was before COVID. There was a young man in Greensboro who was out having breakfast, having biscuits and gravy. And there was a mother and her young daughter. I think she was like around 10. The young daughter had gone to the bathroom, and there was this creepy guy that had been kind of like paying a lot of extra attention to this mother and daughter, who followed the daughter to the bathroom.
And you said it was like a fast food place, or
yeah, it was like a Hardee's or a Bojangles, something like that. And then he grabbed her, whisked her away to his car, threw her in the back seat, jumped in, and drove off. Which, as a parent, is probably everybody's number one nightmare.
Oh yes, I can't imagine.
And so this young man was astute and cognizant of his surroundings, and was looking, and he noticed that he felt uncomfortable with the amount of focus and attention this guy had on the mother and child. And so he was kind of just, keeping an eye on it. And then when he saw the guy taking her outside and saw that the mother was still sitting there in the restaurant, unaware of what was going on, he got up, he took a picture of the license plate, took a picture of the car.
How old was the person that he was abducting?
I think she's like 10.
Gotcha.
10 years old. 8 to 10.
To me, that's old enough to know better.
Right. Yeah, but he was like forcing her. He had her.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
so it wasn't like he enticed her with candy.
No.
Puppy or something.
No. He had her like by the shoulders or by the arm and was like dragging her to the car. Kind of
wow.
Thing. Okay. And so this guy, and then, obviously the 911 was called. And so when the officers got there, this young man was able to provide them with the make and model of the car, the license plate, an accurate description of the guy.
What direction he went in?
What direction he pulled out of the parking lot in. And within hours, they had found the guy, found the girl, arrested the guy, reunited the girl with the mother. And I actually met this young man. I found out from the article a few things about maybe how to get in touch with him. And I was able to actually get a message to him. He called me back. We actually met at a Starbucks and talked for about an hour and a half. And he said, just like he did on the local CBS affiliate here, he said to me, he's like, "I don't consider myself a hero, Mr. Harden."
Heroes never do.
And I said, "Huh?
Heroes never do."
Yeah, no, heroes never do. He's like, "I just was doing what I thought was the right thing." But the cool thing about it, from an ERO standpoint, event plus response equals outcome, that we were talking about earlier, he realized in the heat of the moment, he said that he wanted to bum rush the guy, tackle him to the ground, and and keep him subdued until the police got there. But he realized, if you're abducting a child, then you're obviously a bad person. And he's like, he could have had a knife or a gun, or he could have injured the girl, could have injured me. And so he realized, even though that's what he wanted to do, right? That was his initial emotional reaction, was to do whatever necessary to save this little girl. he realized that that was not the overall best approach for everyone involved in this specific situation. And he did all this in the heat of the moment. We talked.
That's what's impressive.
Right, exactly.
Normally, you're faced with an event.
It's like fight or flight.
Yeah.
And it just kicks in instantly. Right.
But it's hard to make the right response in the moment like that without. Normally, you need to take a breath, step back, analyze the situation, and he did all that and made the right decisions.
Yes. Absolutely.
In the moment.
Mm-hmm. That's the most impressive part, because like I told you, my reaction would have been, bum rushing the guy and putting him in an arm bar until the police got there.
But you're right. That could be escalating the situation. Now, it may be we just don't know. You can't, nobody's got a crystal ball.
Right.
And say, well, if you had done it this way, then the girl would not even have been in his possession for an hour, but what if you bum rushing him, he pulls out a gun, shoots you, and the girl gets away? You just don't know.
You don't know. Right. So he made that, where he had no control over the event. He didn't have direct control over
Generally, you don't have control over the event.
But he had full control over his response and how he handled himself.
Right.
And in staying calm in the heat of the moment, right, he was able to get the best possible outcome. Would have been, her not being abducted at all.
Right.
I don't know if he would have been able to do that, though, because he did not see them until they had already exited, like the side door by the bathroom, going to the car. So if he had sprung into action, he could have got run over.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, right.
And then nobody would have been able to provide any information.
There would have been no information. Nobody would have been, make and model, license plate, description of the abductor.
Right.
So
direction they went in.
I was really impressed that he was able to do that, and he stayed so calm. But when I met him, I realized he's just a really calm, even-keeled young man. So
you said he was young too.
He was like 20, 21. He was a college student at A&T.
Yep.
And he and I actually connected on LinkedIn. I was trying to see if there were any opportunities at my former employer. They have programs.
Because he was an IT professional, right?
Yeah.
And you have an IT background.
Right. So that did not work out, but he actually went to work for the NSA and lives in Columbia, Maryland. So that's that kind of tied into that story right there. And I do want to tag onto that where it wasn't the right response, but it actually still turned out okay. Personal experience. Me and do you remember Brian Prater?
I remember the name. I can't.
He worked with me at the video store, and I convinced you to hire him to be a technician at People's Computers.
He worked for me at People's?
Yeah.
I remember the name. I don't. I cannot place a face.
It's a short amount of time, and then he went on. He would really want to get into like network administration with Cisco routers and things like that, and he moved on from the store. But that kind of launched his IT career.
Okay.
He and I were working at a video store. We saw a guy on camera steal a video and put it in his coat jacket, inside of his coat. He came up and rented 2 other movies.
Wow.
And then as he was going out, we had entrance and exit, and both of those were from a man trap. So you enter the store through a man trap, you exit it into the man trap. And as soon as he opened the door, Brian went over the counter to follow him out the exit. I went over the counter and went out the entrance. At which point in time, as soon as he got outside, Brian did a leg sweep. The guy face planted. I got his left arm, put it into an arm bar, and jammed my knee into his forearm, while Brian went in and called the Archville Police Department. The store was about a half mile from the police department. Someone was there in 2 minutes. It was actually a customer of the store, who then put the guy in cuffs and arrested him.
For stealing 2 videos.
Stealing 1 video.
1 video.
Yeah.
Why not just at the register say, do you want to rent the video in your jacket?
Because then we wouldn't have been able to do what we did. What's the fun in that? And then he could have got away with it. Like we wanted, we're all about accountability. I still am. And so,
but you or he or somebody could have got hurt, or
yeah. But I was also like 18, 17, 18. Right. Yeah. So, but obviously not the best response. Understandable, but not the best response because we could have got hurt or killed. However, so the owner of the store, Monty Winters, he's retired now, lives in Sunset Beach. He comes to the store and we call him, let him know he comes there. He thanked the officers. He thanked us in front of the officers. And then once the officers left, he asked us to come back to his office. And we thought, we're going to go back there. We're going to get congratulations, attaboy, maybe some kind of award or something. And for like the next 5 minutes, he just tore our heads off. It was brutal. I will not repeat the things he said. Because he had always told all of us, like when you were hired, he told you this, and then on a regular, maybe monthly basis, he would remind people, if someone comes in to rob the store, not only do I want you to open up every cash register and give them every cent, here's the combination to my safe. Take them back to my office and give them everything in there as well. Anything we can do to get them out of the store with everyone unharmed. He's like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about the videos. I care about your lives. I have insurance. So that was, he was very clear on that. Mm-hmm. And he said, I appreciate, in theory, what you guys did. He goes, but indeed, I don't appreciate it. It went against what I said. And he was really mad. And I didn't understand. I was like, why is he mad at us? We did the right thing. So obviously not the best response, right? Because it was direct insubordination to what the owner of the store had told us. Right. But then also, we were kids. Him being older and wiser, he knew that was a safety concern. Right. So kind of both sides of that. A good, the young man with the kidnapping, obviously, about the best response you could come up with.
You could have got charged with assault on the guy for I don't know.
No.
Maybe today you might have.
Yeah, maybe. Because
different world today.
Yeah, now the police are.
Now robbers can break into your house and you can assault them, and then you can be. Yeah, well, they'll file a claim against your homeowner's insurance for getting hurt in the house or something.
My mother said many times the law always backs the criminal, not the victim, and that's unfortunate.
It is,
and that's on us as a country. That's not a political statement. Right. It's a factual statement. Yeah. That is on us. We have pandered to evil criminals and ignored the helpless victims, and that's unfortunate. So it was not a smart move on our part, even though Monty understood why we did what we did. But kind of ties in the whole ERO thing, where response in our situation, it turned out okay. Right. The bad guy was apprehended. He was arrested. We were unscathed. Right. But it could have been a totally different outcome. Right. So kudos to these guys for blocking the guy in. Basically, they were blocking him in so
he couldn't get away. Yeah.
Until the police got there, and then the child was recovered. So that's a good thing.
It could have. You never. I think what they did was absolutely right. But that guy could have had a gun. He could have come out to the truck and shot them for not moving or threatened them or what happened. Right. But it didn't happen that way.
Right. Yeah, obviously. But I think it's kind of middle ground between what me and Brian did and then what the young man from A&T that I told you about, where, he put it in a situation where he was keeping himself safe. And by not bringing heat to the matter, keeping the girl safe in that moment. Right. Whereas we put ourselves in harm's way, and these guys could have been in harm's way, but at least they were because if he had got away, who knows? You get a picture of the truck, but there's 82 different directions they could have gone. Right. So maybe not the overall best response, but it still was heroic and saved the girl.
Right. Trying to think of. It reminded me of when I was a senior in high school. Mm-hmm. We went to Myrtle Beach. Me and David Thomas. Good friend of mine. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say his name because I'm on the show, but a good friend of mine, David Thomas.
We can do that. Yeah, because he's a friend. Personal friend of the show.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah.
So I hope.
Wendy's. Owner of Wendy's.
That's right. We were in Myrtle Beach on senior beach trip, And while we were down there, there was another friend of ours that we saw down there, Tim O'Connell. I'm sorry, probably shouldn't use his name either, but
Tom Collins.
He ran into us down there, and he said, "Could I stay with you guys?"
Mm-hmm.
And that way, we did the math. We were like, "Well, if he stays with us, we can afford to stay a couple extra days."
Mm-hmm.
So we let him. Well, David was already at a party at a neighboring hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and I were headed to that hotel to the party. We're walking past this alleyway, and we see a girl clearly being not abducted, she was being
maybe
harassed
mm-hmm.
by some bikers who,
mm-hmm.
I mean, like 4 or 5 bikers.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly she was trying to get away. They weren't letting her,
mm-hmm.
and she was being groped. Tim and I walked past it, see the situation. I said, "We need to do something." He's there. "No, we can't. There's
mm-hmm.
nothing we can do.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell that something. We can call somebody, let the police know." But
mm-hmm.
I said, by then it might be too late. And so I turned around, walked down the alleyway. Obviously, I can't take on 5 bikers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just walked up to her, grabbed her by hand. I said, "Sis, there you are. Mom and Dad have been looking for you everywhere."
Mm-hmm.
And I just grabbed her by the hand and started walking away with her. And they were just so shocked.
Right.
They were kind of stunned, and we just walked away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like scolding her for, leaving and all that
mm-hmm.
kind of stuff in front of them. And we walked away, and then she was.
Oh.
So.
That's a good idea. That's what I was thinking in my mind. You told me that story. It's been a while, but that's what I was thinking in my mind, because confronting them in a confrontational way,
right,
is only going to make them aggressive, right? And it's 4-on-1.
I was actually confronting her,
right?
Like I was mad at her for walking,
right?
For
exactly. But you just came up like acting like you have no clue what in the world's going on there,
right?
Like you just like, where have you been,
right?
And dragging her off. That was a smart move, for sure. That's interesting story.
Probably my only heroic story.
Well, I have one. While we're on this similar type thing,
right.
We handled a different friend of the show, Edward Stills. You don't know him. We worked together, and this is while it was still Wachovia, before it being purchased by Wells Fargo and becoming part of the Wells Fargo family. Every day we would go for a walk. If it wasn't raining, in between breakfast and lunch, in between lunch and time we leave, just get up and walk around the building, stretch our legs, and it was good stress relief. And we were out there, and there was not trying to be too stereotypical, but there was a drug rehab center about 3 blocks down, and so we saw a lot of shady looking things that were happening. And there was 2 people coming from there, a young man, young woman, and the man was dragging her by the arm and screaming and cussing and verbally yelling what he was getting ready to do to her, which was not going to end well for her. And Edward is, he has a nickname I gave him, the Windmill of Fists. I can tell you right now, if I were ever to have to be in a fight and I could choose someone to be my sidekick, it would be Edward, because then I could just sit back with the popcorn, and he could have taken on those 4 bikers. The guy is just next level. I can't. It doesn't matter. He's impressive. But we were walking. He said we have to do something, and so I just followed his lead, walked up. And he had taken her behind the building.
Oh, wow.
And it was escalating, like physically. He was like beating her. And Edward just comes up and he's like, "So what's going on here?" And the guy said, "It's none of your business. You need to go on." And he's like, "Well, actually, it is our business." And, I'm 6'6". Edward's probably 6'3", 6'4". And like, I was never worried about anything. If this guy had a gun, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
But Edward just said, he never threatened the guy. It was nothing like that. He just said, "I think it would be in everyone's best interest for you to allow her to come with us, and then you to make yourself scarce." And the guy kind of laughed. And then at this point, we were like 15, 20 feet away as we walked up, and it we were towering over him. And, bullies are cowards. That's like, if you're a coward, it doesn't mean you're a bully. But if you're a bully, you are a coward. That's just irrefutable. So when he saw us and us towering over him, and he was, about 140, pounds, little scrawny, nothing, he begrudgingly let go of her, and we weren't going to do anything to him other than get the girl away from him. And as soon as she came over, Edward asked her, brought her over to where he was, said, "Are you okay?" I called 911. She was begging us not to call the police. I was like, "Sorry, but we are morally and ethically obligated to call the police." And we
Did she know him? Was it a stranger?
No, boyfriend and girlfriend.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so the police got there, and by the time the police got there, he had already split. We were not going to detain him.
Right.
I know we could have, done a citizen's arrest or whatever, but we were not there for that. We were there to make sure she was safe. And a couple of days later, we saw her walking down the road, and she thanked us. Whatever happened, I don't know. Now, was that the best response? It turned out it was at that point in time. Because if we had not, if we just called 911, who knows, we wouldn't have known where they went. We followed them. But it happened to be, it was a good response. We didn't know that going into it. Well, we could see it was a little pipsqueak, but what if he had a gun?
You don't. Yeah, sometimes.
No, trust me. If you ever saw Edward, you would understand. Edward, many years ago, before he became a Christian, used to go down to Montgomery County in pastures and with gangs of people and fight for entertainment on Friday and Saturday nights.
Fight club.
Yeah, for fun.
Right.
That was, and they would shake hands and go out to get something to eat when it was over. Trust me, it wouldn't have mattered what this guy brought to the table. He would have been squashed like a bug instantaneously. So Edward is not to be trifled with.
Gotcha.
And plus, this guy was clearly jonesing, big time. So he wouldn't have been able to do anything if he had any capability. He was not physically able to do that. So maybe in the heat of the moment, we felt we didn't have a choice because, we could not let it go unaddressed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically the whole point of the whole ERO thing, while there's a lot of different ways you can look at it, the biggest thing we're coming up with here is safety. How can you address something that needs to be addressed and keep everybody, calm, level, even keeled, and safe, especially if they're explosive kind of situations, or what the potential to be explosive. Right. Yeah. Someone just walks by you and bumps into you, you lip off at them, you could be dead. Mm-hmm. They could be some crazy person carrying a gun and shoot you for no reason.
Sarah and I were at breakfast at a place called Chez Jeunesse where we had our rehearsal dinner. Mm-hmm. And it was a Sunday morning. I had my back to the door that comes in. Sarah was facing the door. I believe it was a homeless man came in. I didn't know. I heard barking noises, but I didn't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if somebody being funny or what was going on. Mm-hmm. I was not facing the situation. And it was a very odd interaction when he came in. Mm-hmm. And so obviously he wasn't right in his head. And Sarah said, I didn't witness it because I didn't had my back to the situation. Sarah said there was two gentlemen that were not together sitting at separate tables. Mm-hmm. They looked at each other and nodded. Mm-hmm. They both got up, walked over to the gentleman who was barking at, acting very weird mm-hmm. to the hostess. Mm-hmm. They got on either side of him, but they were calm. Mm-hmm. She said they handled it so well. They were trying to find out from an irrational person what he was trying to do, what he was looking for. He was looking for some food. They offered to buy some, but walked him outside, mm-hmm. and then they brought some food to him. Okay. Which sounded like the perfect response from two people who didn't know each other, mm-hmm. Responding to a situation in the moment.
And staying calm. A lot of times, people don't realize how important that is.
Right.
It's
I never saw
crucial.
anything. Sarah explained to me what happened after after the fact.
That's the crucial thing.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to do.
Right.
Like it's easier for some people because maybe they're wired a certain way to where it's easier, but it's not easy for anyone. It just may be easier for certain types of people. But that truly is, I think, key, and especially volatile situations or situations with potential to be volatile. Staying calm is, I would say, the most important thing.
Yeah, to de-escalating a situation.
To de-escalating, right? Yeah. Because if you are anything but calm, it's only going to escalate.
Right.
There's no way around it. So, well, that's good, man. We actually ERO'd like 4 things interwoven there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
You have any other good news stories?
I do. We're running out of time though. We've already been on for an hour and 10 minutes.
They're not watching us anyhow.
Okay. Well, you had mentioned last week that there was a 6-planet alignment that's going to happen today.
Yes.
Kind of a tease for today. Well, that happens tonight.
Yeah.
Briefly, tonight after sunset, you'll be able to see a celestial lineup that doesn't happen very often. I guess Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Mercury will all appear together in our perspective from Earth. Yeah,
and Lincoln is excited about it. He has some binoculars. They don't actually magnify anything, but he's ready for it.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have a telescope. We do have some binoculars. I don't know if that'll help or not. But
if they're strong enough,
I think you do. They're not visible with the naked eye, so you are going to have some sort of assistance.
Well, and it was cute when he's telling me about it. He goes, "Earth is in the picture too, but we can't see it because that's where we are." Well, I was at the doctor, and he said, "Mr. Harden, I think there's a problem." He's like, "Mercury is in Uranus." I was like, "I don't believe in all that astrology stuff." He's like, "Yeah, my thermometer broke." Sorry. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Well, anytime you have a chance to sit Uranus, right?
Yeah, I knew that was your favorite planet when I said it.
You got anything else for us? Yeah, I love planets, the moon. I love all that stuff. Right. And so I was excited about it. And like Lincoln didn't get this from me. He found it out at school, and he's just like super ready.
Right.
Like, he's so excited.
Well, I think it says that the best viewing time is like 30 minutes after sunset. So
yeah,
just so you know.
Okay.
I had a couple other stories, but we'll leave it there.
Yeah, okay, we'll leave it there. So thank you if you are watching or listening. Yeah. So we have some people just listen,
right?
Like maybe on.
We'll say this. Sarah was talking to her mom last week, and she says, "Eric's doing the radio show with Christopher this morning." She says, "Oh, we're in the car. What channel are they on?"
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Not for us. Not for us.
It's got a much broader.
Yeah, I mean,
span.
This way, people in Zimbabwe can listen to us.
Anybody with an internet connection.
Yep. And we are internationally famous.
We are. Our international presence is growing. Thank you.
Who was I talking to? I think it was. I was at dinner with Megan and Caitlin and Sarah on Thursday, and we were talking about the show. And so they logged in, and I think they favorited or subscribed or something while we were there. And I don't know what platform they were on. She says it was the last Saturday show, and I guess it showed how many people had listened. It wasn't as that many. I said, well, you're just looking at that one platform. We're on half a dozen.
Right.
When you add it all together, we have tens of people listening. No.
We have tens of people. That's true. You can't just go by the one. Well, it is interesting, and Spotify is actually Spotify is our host. Just for transparency, we do publish to YouTube, but Spotify enables you to put your RSS and feed in there, and then it pushes to Apple, Amazon Music, Amazon Audible.
Didn't you say it was iHeartRadio's on
there? iHeartRadio, Pandora. Like when I'm at the gym, I can listen to our show on Pandora or any of those, right?
You already say iTunes.
Apple.
Yep.
Yeah, Apple. Because iTunes has music and then it has podcasts. There's an Apple podcast section,
Right.
and that's where it's published. But then also, not just YouTube, but YouTube Music. So it could, whatever platform.
What about Amazon Music?
Yeah.
Really?
And Audible, both. Yeah. Yeah, it's on all of those. So it does. It doesn't matter to us where you follow and subscribe. Spotify is the largest platform in the world on that. But yeah, liking, subscribing, sharing, whatever.
Yeah, I was showing them the logo for our show, our updated logo since we did it before. Since Bella is no longer with us.
Yeah.
That's Sarah helped create with AI. And it's not a cartoon, is it? How would you? They're not cartoon characters in us. What would you describe that as?
I would call it like a AI animated replication.
But it's not animated because it doesn't move.
Well, it's not. But I don't mean animated. But if you see a still from an animated show,
right?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not
images that have our likeness.
Yeah. Images.
Yours is more like you than I am like me in there, but I think your likeness is more close.
I thought she did an excellent job though. Yeah. I like it. Yep. We she is our official which she calls graphic designer for the show. So
it's on our merchandise.
Yes, if you want merchandise, it's in the links. It's and the margins are slim. Just throwing that out there. We could get 50 cents or something like that. But if you do see something as the show grows, because it's grown since the first episode, more and more people. Jackson actually went to YouTube and subscribed to our channel.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. So he doesn't know anything about Spotify, but it doesn't matter what platform. As far as we're anyone, the platform that works best for you.
Right.
So you
said New Zealand. We had a follow. What was it? We had a big following overseas. Was it New Zealand?
In the largest. Yes, New Zealand was by far the largest international presence, with somewhere around 2,000 listeners.
Wow.
Yeah. And then number 2 was Senegal. Still blows my mind. I don't know how. It's not like it was one listener. It was under 1,000, but it was like 800 and something like that. I guess it was just word of mouth. I have no clue. And then United Kingdom, it was like 750, like that. And then the majority of all of the rest of the 6,000 and some odd listeners were U.S. based. And I've already seen somehow we have people listening from New Zealand again. So I don't understand it, but thank you. Anybody that's listening to this nonsense, we appreciate it.
Do you think that our episode today will have as many viewers as MASH's final episode?
Percentage-wise?
What percentage of households worldwide
that have internet?
I
would say it'd be about 1,000th of a percent.
Do you think we'll hit 67%?
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, we're not in our 11th season.
No,
technically.
We're not. No.
So.
Yeah, we're not. We did it like 2.5 years before.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the reason why.
Yeah.
Maybe we get Alan All to direct our next episode.
It's possible. Yeah. I do want to throw out, I have had someone reach out to me that is, I think I mentioned this to you. He's here in Greensboro and he's trying to get some traction around adults providing meaningful mentorship to young people. I'll just leave it to that. It's deeper than that, but I don't want to steal his thunder. And he expressed interest in maybe wanting to have not an entire episode, but maybe a little guest appearance.
Okay.
Because he truly believes what he's doing, and he's trying to make things better.
Part of our Good News Network.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's what he was kind of wondering, and I was like, I'll talk with Eric about it. but I thought that would be a good thing. So anything like that, we're all over the place, but we're trying to bring more positivity into our lives and into our listeners' lives.
Yeah.
So thank you. With that, we will see you next week.
That's great.